sometimes I think my job as a facilitator is mostly just asking people to be quiet. You know, I think the best way is not to have to do it, not to have to interrupt someone, but to set the rules, to use a timer, use a kind of the one breath technique, get people to write stuff down. But sometimes we have to interrupt people, don't we, Svenari?
Yes, sometimes there's no way around it. So plan A is try to make sure you don't get in a position where you have to tell people to actually be quiet, but sometimes you have to. So what do you do practically?
I often reflect that if people are wanting to talk a lot, it's because there's something to say. So it's worth listening to that and reflecting that whilst we may have a limited time in the session, there may be more here to explore. So maybe naming that is part of it, because of course you're in a way holding respect for the rest of the group who've committed this time, no more, no less. But it might be worth saying, do we need more time to talk about this? I mean, I might use a bell. I might use my little bell to distract people. Sometimes I might walk physically close to somebody if it's a real world scenario. In the online space, I might raise a hand to do that, or make a noise on the microphone, deliberately put myself off mute, or do something to distract them. What about you, Svenari?
Yeah, I often use a combination of a verbal and physical interruption. So kind of just make it clear that I'm going to interrupt. And then also, as you say, it could be interesting to follow, but also as a facilitator, you have the eyes on the set plan. So you could say something like, if we go down that route, that's fine, but then we don't get to where we wanted to be. So help the group be aware of the situation. I also like to use humor
Mm-hmm.
if it's a social context where you could do. So I would say, all right, Steve, I'm going to let you in one more time, but make it short, not Steve short, but really short.
I'm going to steal that and use that about 3 times a week. And so I guess the takeaway is plan not to interrupt if you can't. Use those techniques and methods to avoid it. If you do, remember that your role as a facilitator is to raise the awareness of the group of their own process. And you can do that through doing interruption with appropriate humor, if that's right, with lots of different techniques. Yeah.